to give you one chance before you really get into this video and back out now. I own a lot of junk. I've basically learned by putting together this video, it's about 78, 80, 85%, 96% junk that I own. I'm not really attracted to like new shiny things, it seems like. I mean, except for my wife. You're the one. It seems like I'm drawn to just more odd, kind of outcasty type vehicles. So, except for the foes. The foes are like the only mainstream car that I really dig. What is that? Price is so low, people just driving right through the front. Shit. Unreal. But yeah, this is just a warning. This isn't some MTV Cribs car collection. This is just a lot of junk I've acquired. But if you're bored, got some time to kill, check it out. Oh yeah! It's the pussy wagon, as you can tell. Start you off here. Made a video on this one. Flew out to Vegas. If you don't know, I'm in Des Moines, Iowa, so it's about a 20-hour drive. Flew out to Vegas for the Super Show one year. I think it was 2018? Yeah. No, 2019. Yeah. Yeah, 2019 Super Show. Flew out there. Bought a bunch of car parts. My buddy did. I bought a few too. And we didn't want to pay for shipping, and it wouldn't all fit on an airplane. So I bought this thing and drove this thing back. Paid $1,000 for this. Maybe it was $1,100, something like that. And drove this thing 20 hours back through the Rocky Mountains and everything. I actually really like this van. Got the, Viva. Got a 6.4 windshield in here. But yeah, it works out pretty well actually, even though it's just a kind of a clunker. But as you're gonna see, most of my vehicles are clunkers. And I didn't wash any of them for this. Dodge Dart. It's a beauty. 2014. First car I've ever bought new. And we just paid it off. That was quite the road, you know. So yeah, that's the wife mobile. That's pretty good. Here's my main daily. Oh yeah, it's a beaut. This thing, let's see if she'll start. Sometimes you gotta floor the throttle. No, let me try it again. Come on. There she is. There she is breathing. Lets off a little smoke. Yeah. Change engine oil. Yeah, right. Like I'm gonna do that. Yeah, that's 274,000 babied miles. Just drive it to church, basically. This thing's been a pretty good vehicle for the day-to-day stuff that I do. I mean, you can beat it up because obviously it's not a prom queen. And I've driven this thing to South Carolina and back before. Picked up that convertible 64. Didn't give me any hiccups. Didn't even think about giving me any trouble. That was like a 40-something hour round trip. So that was pretty impressive for an old, almost 300,000 mile vehicle. She's got a healthy 5.3 liter knock when it's cold, but she does come out of it. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Taking a little east side trip in our favorite rocket ship. Can't really see much, but orange wheeled G body over there. Maybe they're pink. Yeah, they're pink. Pink wheels. Boy, it is slick. So over here at my dad's house, I got one of the foes stored. A lot of people probably looking at this like, man, that ain't a car. That's how they all start, you know. You gotta start somewhere. But this car is pretty sweet, actually. It's a factory triple black. It's not an SS, it's just a sport coupe, but it's factory triple black. And the guy that I got it from, his dad owned this since like late 60s. So it's fairly new when his dad bought it. And he's been working on it now for, I think it was 30, 40 years he was working on it. As you can see, he started to cut out the floor, getting that all prepped, got the inner rockers cut. Yeah, she needs some love, you know. But it's a cool ride. Now, realistically, the only way that, I mean, not the only way, anything's possible with enough time and money, but about the only way that I can see this thing getting restored is just starting with a new body. Because it needs, I mean, maybe I shouldn't say that. If you're ambitious enough, you might be able to do it. It needs, the firewall's good. Nope, firewall's not good. Yeah, it needs everything. I mean, firewall repair, inner and outer rockers, full floors, trunk floor, rear trunk shelf has seen better days. The roof is good. You know, I've seen worse quarters, that's for sure. But that's what I'm gonna do with this. I'm thinking this is gonna be, because it's got a good title, good VIN plate. So I think I'm gonna start with this one for the vert, the convertible conversion. That's my goal. I don't know if I'll leave it black, but you know, it's got some good parts. Like that rear tail section is actually pretty good. I'm not exactly sure what I'm gonna do with this body, but honestly, it's really not even worth starting with this body, just because it's so rough. But man, he stripped this sucker all the way out. Got some hinge bolts. Did a good job at putting the bolts back. Guy was very meticulous. You know, these are handy to have. The plugs. The little odds and ends stuff that is kind of shocking how difficult it is to find when you actually go to put one of these cars together all the way. So that's one of the foes. My dad's got a truck problem. Couple Chevys. I really should buy this one off. I may want to sell this one. I really should buy it. It's a nice truck. Yeah, my dad's got a serious truck problem. And that one is my ugly truck. I bought this thing probably 5 or 6 years ago, just as a dumpster, basically. Use it to haul stuff to the scrap. And it's worked out pretty good. Need to get a tire for it, but man, it's an ugly, beat up old truck, but it is a great running truck. I had the city write me a letter saying that that thing was a inoperable vehicle and a nuisance. It was sitting in about 4 feet of snow, and I fired it right up and drove it out of the snowbank, so showed them. At the headquarters. Let's see what else we got. Got an X-frame chassis. This one came on a SS that the one I'm working on, the main one I'm working on inside the building. X-frame chassis for that. Here's another 6.4. Got this one down in Arkansas. And I think this is the one that I would use the body from for the triple black. I think this is going to be a good candidate for the triple black stuff. Was a factory AC car, if you can't tell by the giant hole. Frame's nothing special. I think it's just a standard frame. It's got a little kink in her, but that's really not a big deal to straighten out. But overall, the body is in pretty good shape. Yeah, a lot of people send me links to cars for sale, 64s for sale especially, which I appreciate because sometimes there are some really good deals, but I don't think people understand what kind of deals I'm getting on some of these. I paid $400 for this car, and it's got all the sheet metal for it. I mean, it had all the fenders and hood and all that stuff inside of it, so I don't pay a whole lot of money for my cars. It's just not worth it. It takes the fun out of it for me to pay a bunch of money. I'm not out here wheeling and dealing trying to flip these things, so it's kind of hard for me to pay top dollar prices when I'm just going to look at them basically, or use them for parts here and there. So I try to keep my costs down pretty good. This one here is technically still a customer's car, but he's had this one stored here for over a year now and hasn't come through with any money to do any work. I think he lives out in California. Yeah, it's getting to a point that we either got to pay for some work or pay the storage. One of the two. So, I don't know. That one's technically not mine until I file the paperwork on it, I guess. Oh, missed one. 37 Pontiac here, which is basically just a rust-free car. No bullet holes at all. This one is just the body. It's sitting on top of a El Camino frame. If anybody needs an El Camino frame, I would sell this one. Looks to be in pretty good shape. But yeah, 37 Pontiac coupe. Split rear window, which is pretty sweet. But yeah, just the body on this one. It's got the dash. So this would be a cool rat machine. My original thoughts for that one was to get like an old C4 Corvette, and just a cheap C4 Corvette. Cut the body panels off of it and plop this thing down over the chassis, kind of like they do when they make the vet carts, but have this as your body, and just leave it kind of ratted out. And yeah, Canadian X-frame. This is the one that was underneath of that triple black that we just looked at over my dad's house. About the only thing worth anything on it are the T fittings. Everything else is pretty well just toast. It's full of rot. So there's not a whole lot good. Customer's Lincoln. This is my Lincoln here. This one is for sale. I put cylinders in it, front and back. It's got 12s, chrome 12s in the back, 8-inch competition cylinders in the front. Extended caddy, upper arms. Yeah, I would sell this one. The interior in this one is just like stupid clean. I mean, it's real nice. So I would sell this one. I would have to have $2,500 for it with the wheels. And if you've never watched any of my videos, they are real Daytons, mid 90s Daytons, so they're about as old as me. Body isn't too bad. It's got some rust there. The front end needs a little love. The fenders are kind of rough. It's got rust at the bottom of the fenders and some dents. Hood's got a little buckle in it that can be straightened pretty easily. Fender over here is about the same story. So I could use a pair of fenders, but really the body isn't too bad. This thing is a lot cleaner than my green and gold one that I did started out as. And the interior being perfect, that's half the battle. But yeah, I'd take $2,500. I do $2,500 for this one with the wheels. It does not have a setup. Now let me be just crystal clear on that. It does not have a setup. I just cut this thing, put the cylinders in it. It's got brand new springs, 3 tons in the back, or 3 tons in the front, 2 tons in the back. It's got power balls in the rear. Like I said, chrome 12s in the back, 8s in the front. Suspension work is done. It does not have anything in the trunk. So it does not have any pumps, rack, battery, none of that. I have not cut it yet for a rack. So I would sell it $2,500 as is with the wheels, or $1,500 if you brought your own wheels. No, I will not sell the wheels alone for $1,000. I'd rather just keep the wheels than sell them for $1,000 than try to find some. So, or I would sell this one done with brand new 3 pump setup in the back, 6 batteries. You're looking at about $5,500. If you want all new stuff in the trunk and done, I would finish it up for you. Yeah, and we got a 37 Chrysler Imperial Suicide Doze. This thing is pretty cool. I like the look on it. It's pretty tough looking. So this one is for sale too. I do $2,000 on this one. It is a project. It's got a Ford 9 in the back. Ford 9-inch in the rear. Somebody started a mini tub it at one time. The guy that I bought it from had it for about 25 years. And he said that it was like that before he got it. So about 30 years this thing's been sitting with the Ford 9-inch. Has the original motor in the front. But obviously it's locked up. So yeah, let's keep the tour going. The Tickler Junk Tour. I don't know if you guys seen this on the last video. The hearse. This thing's pretty cool. Need to get some trim for this thing. My goal with this thing is long arm, black magic, everything. So black magic, if you want to jump on this sucker and get some advertising on the side, let me know. Black magic everything, long arm kit, 30-inch telescopics in the rear. That thing with the rear bumper sitting above your head, man, that'd be crazy. And then if you watch any of the channel, you know about this one. This is the one that I'm doing right now. That's the faux. That's kind of up on my list right now to get some work done. Got my wheels for it. Not a lowrider, just more of an original, kind of a 70s era, you know, look. Nothing too wild. No hydraulics for now. I just want to get that thing on the road. This is the one I got with that other black 64 body you've seen. I bought these as a pair. But it is an SS factory AC. I think it was just a 327 2-speed car, nothing too crazy. I put a 396 big block in it, 700 R4 trans. Every bushing in the frame is new. Shocks are all new. It's powder coated. Put a new floor pan in it, full floor pan, which I don't recommend anybody do anytime soon, because that was not fun. I still got to weld a little bit up here on those rear braces. Rebuilt steering column in there, just a standard non-tilt. Yeah, factory AC car, which is kind of nice. So I think this one, my immediate goals, that's the color I'm eventually going to do on the car. It looks a lot more blue in the video, but it's more of a teal green. It's called bikini blue. It's a Jeep color. So I think just for this summer, to get this thing on the road, if I do get it running and driving, is I'm going to do the body, not all the way, but get it relatively good, and do the same kind of Love Machine style, hence the wheels. I even got the hood ornament for it, which I'm kind of excited about. But I'm going to do the same kind of Love Machine style, and not exact replica. I can't do all that light blue fur interior, so it's going to be my Love Machine, and I'm just going to roll the thing. I'm not going to worry about getting this thing, you know, super wet, clean, glass looking. It's just going to be a good cruiser. Get it relatively straight and drive this thing this summer. So you probably won't see that thing all painted up. I got way too much customer stuff, and it wouldn't be reasonable of me to put my car in front of all this stuff. I mean, this isn't even, I got more. So here's a car that actually started it all, which is kind of sad to see it here like that, but it is what it is. This one is a factory triple black SS 6 faux 327 car. Not a super option car, just, you know, black interior, black body, SS. So no factory air, even though somebody put an air cluster in it. Yeah, somebody tried to paint it some maroon color, but you can see it's originally black. This one, I want this one to be really nice when I do it. That's why I'm not doing this one first, because right now I just don't have the means or the time to do this one as nice as I want it to be done. So I'm going to hold off on this one and get that other one on the road. And then when I got a little more free time, a little more, you know, expendable income, I'm going to jump back on that. This is Jim. This is a 60 faux Mercury Marauder. This one, I don't know. I don't know why I got this one, honestly. I think it's because it's factory. I mean, I like old cars. I don't just like 64 Impalas, but I like just anything old and kind of odd. And this one fit the bill. It's a factory pink frost color. Yeah, 64 Marauder. This one I would sell if anyone's interested. Does not have a motor. No motor in this one, but it's pretty cool. Need some floor work. Yeah, this would be a pretty sweet ride. Hard top. I mean, if anyone's looking for just a classic car to kind of mess around with or get started with, yeah, I would be open to selling this one. I'd like $1,000 out of it, but honestly, I'd be open to offers on that one. It's got a cool look. I do have a title for that one. Yeah, 64 Marauder. It originally came with the 390 big block. Somebody yanked that out. Yes, I do own a school bus. Yep. Bought this thing off of Christian school here in Iowa. We hurt some feelings with it. So this is actually it's kind of a storage unit. Keep some stuff that's not real valuable, not super important to me. I just keep it out here. So yeah, that's the bus. This thing actually runs and drives really good. Like really good. Eventually, someday, I'd like to turn that sucker into like a little RV conversion. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the shop from the outside. Here it is. Fairly decent size, what I'm used to. And just recently, I rented this building across the street. Been using this for storage. This is my wife's ride. 75 Oldsmobile wagon. I'm actually pretty excited about this too, but yeah. Do have the rack for it. Luggage rack. You know, needs a tire. I mean, it's only flat on the bottom, but oh yeah, 75 Olds wagon. That one I'm gonna do up for my wife. It actually runs and drives really good. All right, next we got to go kind of down the street, around the corner, up a hill, in a driveway, unlock another door, and we'll see the just the sad graveyard of a couple more Impalas. Yeah, this was 2 64 Impalas. As you can probably guess, this was a convertible, but totally roached out convertible. Needs a lot of TLC. Somebody even took the VIN plate off of it at one time. Kind of sad. So there's not really a whole lot you can do with this except for try to salvage the convertible rack and tub, which is, as you can imagine, pretty rough also. But this was a complete car. Kind of sad to see it get cut up, but invert frame pieces. And this was gonna be the convertible donor until I realized how much rot was in here. But not the end of the world on this car. I mean, it sucks to cut up a good 64. Well, it sucks to cut up a complete 64, but it does have a Canadian frame underneath of it, which is nice. So I'm gonna take 3 Impalas and make one. Basically, I'm gonna use the triple black non-SS that you've seen on the ground, the gold one I got from Arkansas, and this one, and I'm gonna make one convertible eventually. But here's the original seats from that triple black sport coupe. That's actually a convertible rear seat. I would not sell that, even though she is a bit crusty. You can't find them. Can't find them. Well, I guess there is a guy that's remaking them now, but he wants $1,000 for one. Here's a 64 Canadian frame. If anybody needs a Canadian frame roller, this was redone about a decade ago, but rolling chassis. It's got upgraded steering box on the front. So that's a newer style GM power steering box. Yeah, if anybody wants that, I would sell that. I'd let that go pretty reasonable, probably $800 for that. But yeah, that completes our tour. Thanks for tagging along, checking out all my junk. A couple cool cars in there, a lot of junk. I will, you know, I did this little walk around, not just to share it with you guys, but also to remind me what I still own. Sometimes it gets a little out of hand with cars and stuff, especially when you got multiple places to store them. It's like just a lot of times before you you cut your addiction at your driveway, like whatever your driveway will fit. Well, when you can go here and there, but you know, I just can't pass on a good deal. But if anybody sees any parts or anything that they could use, I'm trying to thin the herd a little bit, or if they see anything in there that they just really gotta have, let me know. And I'm at a point right now where I might consider selling some of it, just to kind of thin it down a little bit. But I'm not desperate for cash, so I won't, you know, just give out stupid deals. But yeah, officially, that 37 Chrysler Imperial, the suicide door car, that is for sale. I'd like $2,000 out of that. And I'm really not going to move much off of that, just because I like looking at the car. And I already own it. It doesn't cost me anything to have it sit there. That does have a good title. And then I would sell that blue Lincoln Town car, because I'd like to put some of the equipment and the funds into that hearse that I got. So the blue Lincoln I'd sell with the Daytons on there for $2,500. If you got your own wheels, bring them out. You could drive that car off for $1,500. Yeah, if anybody sees anything or has any interest in those things, let me know. Take it easy, guys.